Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great
Hello everyone, my name is
day?
Dean.
Ain't it a
Let's
great
talk crypto.
day?
This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is December 19th, 2025, and it's all happening. What do you mean by that, Dean? I mean everything we've discussed up until now in our general overall high time frame thesis for Bitcoin, for altcoins, for the Bitcoin dominance. It's all happening. All right. I'm going to go into detail as to what that is exactly and why, given the confirmation of our high time frame thesis, we should expect the following next. If that all sounds interesting to you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get into it. Let's get started with Bitcoin on the 4 hourly time frame. So remember, the thesis was that because it was likely that this all was pure impulse, it was an impulse to the downside, it was a move to the downside, and just looking at it, observing it, scrutinizing it on the small time frames, I spied a leading diagonal right here. One, two, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an extended wave 5. I spy a pure Elliott Wave 5-wave sequence. I said, okay, you know what? If this is indeed pure, this should be our wave 1 of 5, right? Taking us all the way down to capturing the liquidity, the imbalance at Bitcoin's on Bitcoin's chart down between 40 and 50K. That should be our wave 1. If that is the case, then we can, as per Elliott Wave analysis, time this, and it gave us approximately 24 days, and ascribe that value of time to wave 2, because in Elliott Wave analysis, wave 1 and wave 2 are temporally symmetrical. Okay, so we should expect wave 2 to take just about as long as wave 1 took. And remember, wave 1 took 24 days. So I famously put a counter on wave 2, and I said, I'm giving wave 2 24 days until it reaches its target of around 101, 102K. And then we resume the trend, right? Wave 1, 2, 3. All right. So that's a big drop. So that was the overall thesis. That was a high time frame thesis. That was the timing of the move, right? Very seldom will I give precise, specific timing for a move, because nowhere in Elliott Wave analysis, except for this instance, do you have precise timing indications, right? There are no measurements, there are no ways to calculate time except in wave 1 and wave 2. Okay, so that is what I have. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe somebody out there knows some arcane use of Fibonacci time, but I went through Prechter and Frost, end to end, cover to cover. I've never seen anything other than measuring time using wave 1 and wave 2, and then that's pretty much it. There's no way to time the market other than that. Anyway, so I put 24 days on this wave 2. Right now, as of recording, we are at 28 days. I think 28 days. Let me just pull that again. So from the orthodox low here, yeah, it's about 28 days. Okay, so does that mean it's wrong? No, 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 no. It's give or take a few days, depending on the time frame. It's give or take a little bit, right? It doesn't have to be perfectly exact, like 24 days and 2 hours and whatever. No, it's approximate. So 24 days, 28 days, 29 days, we're still exactly what we should expect. So we're on target. And I did say, and I have been saying for the past week and a half, that I would not be surprised if it gave us until Friday, today, the 19th, because there's a special lunar event, a new moon, and new moons statistically in technical analysis represent local market tops. And so if we were to, and I said this in the beginning of the week, if we were to wait or keep this move, or if this move took up until Friday, the weekend, I would not be surprised, okay? That is a quintessential new moon thing, waiting for a local market top, new moon event. And we're Friday, so we're going into a weekend. Don't be surprised if once we get up here, the whole weekend is spent hovering here, and then market open, we get that. So that is Bitcoin. Thus far, things are playing out. And why am I confident that we're getting this move up? Well, look at what we've been dealing with for the past 28 days, yeah? The past 28 days, we've gotten exactly what we expected to get, right? So wave 2 is a 3-wave move, just like any corrective pattern. And it's typically, a sharp correction. So it's a flat correction, but it's sharp insofar as it has a base, and then the C wave kind of extends from the body. And so we've been forming the body, or the B wave and the A wave, for the past 28 days. And I said this is likely an A wave. I have it labeled here in purple. This is likely an A wave, also a 3-wave move in and of itself. And then we have the B wave, which I think it's quite clear is like this. So if that's A and that's B, all of this is just a mini consolidation before we go into C. That's what I'm seeing, okay? And if you look at all of these past 28 days of price action in terms of channeled price action, you can see we went up, down, up, down. Now we're all the way down, and we're creating some consolidation at the bottom of the channel, which you should expect. That's the only way you can go up from the bottom of a channel, right? You start from the bottom, you consolidate a bit, and now you go up. And again, it's not a pure channel that we expect to continue, so we don't necessarily need to retest the midline. We don't need to retest the top, because remember, this is going to swing fail. We shouldn't expect this to follow the conventional rules of a channel, of a legitimate channel breakout, because we understand it's more likely than not that whatever breaks out breaks all the way back down, okay? So that's what I'm seeing with Bitcoin. It's very likely that you get your move up from this level. You hit your target of between 101 and 102. You hover a little bit here briefly, and then you resume the big trend to the downside. All right, so that's Bitcoin, and everything is right now according to plan. And remember, the research on lunar events gives you 0 to 3 days after the lunar event for the top or the bottom to occur. So new moons tops typically occur 0 to 3 days after the event. So day 0 would be today, the 19th, the actual new moon. And then you start counting. Day 1 would be Saturday, day 2 would be Sunday, day 3 would be Monday. So we could expect either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday to give us that local market top. All right, so that's Bitcoin. Everything looks like it's going according to plan. All right, so based off of that, what was the other part of the thesis? The other part of the thesis was, right, we understand that Bitcoin's more likely than not stuck in this wave 2 correction and targeting this 101, 102 target, but soon after, immediately after, we're going to resume a massive downtrend. And I mean a massive downtrend. It's going to make October 10th look like a walk in the park. If you just zoom out for a second, let's go on the daily. You can see that your next target is all the way down at around 51K. All right. And that's not even the end, but that's just wave three. And remember, wave three is the most impulsive, the nastiest, the most violent of the Elliott waves. And it travels the longest typically and the fastest. So it's not it's not anything you want to mess around with. It's as close to a straight line travel as you get when you're dealing with uh, these five wave sequences. So we really have to watch for that. And remember, the thesis was, yes, that's nasty. It's a big move to the downside, and if and when Bitcoin does do that, everything is going to dump. But very important, but altcoins, especially those, well, not especially those, but those that are on support currently, those that are beginning their bull markets, are going to move significantly prior to that. So I had a video titled, I think 2 or 3 videos ago, it was titled something like altcoins are running out of time. Yes, indeed, altcoins are running out of time. We're the 19th. Let's say this big move to the downside happens on Monday, right? At market open or sometime during the day on Monday or Tuesday, right? So 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. You just have a few days. You only have a few hours left for altcoins. It's really, really, like, they're really running out of time. And it's, this isn't, I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just calling it like it is. And I'm confident that the move will happen. The market kind of arranges itself, has its own timing. I don't think there's any concern there. And we're going to look at altcoins in a second, but you can see clear signs of that move happening. The thing is, if you choose wrong, up until now, you could have gotten away with being in whatever altcoins because we've been in a crab market. We've been in a side-to-side market. Actually, this weekend, or not this weekend, this past couple days, I've been talking to a lot of business development managers with different exchanges. So look out for that. I'm going to have some new partnerships shortly. And I'm going to explain the context of those partnerships. It's not just click and join. No. We'll talk about it more later. But in any case, my point is saying that, a lot of business development managers, the first thing they ask is, all right, yeah, you have a YouTube and you talk about technical analysis. We want you to refer users to our exchange, blah, blah, blah. What's your previous volume? What volume have you done? How many people have you signed up and how much have they traded? You're talking about a market for the past 5 years, more or less, that has done what? Has done pretty much little to nothing but go sideways. Okay? Sometimes a little up, little down, a little up, little down, little up, little down, little moves here and there, right? Barring a few exceptions. So if you've been in random altcoin here, random altcoin there, you have no idea what the high time frame technicals are, what it looks like, if it's a bearish or bullish chart on a high time frame. You could have gotten away with it. You will no longer be able to get away with being in the wrong asset in a few days. That is why I'm sounding the alarm. I'm not sounding the alarm because I'm not confident that those assets that are on support are going to move. It's clear as day in the chart. But what's also clear as day in the chart is the way Bitcoin is going to drop like a dead body in the Hudson, so will bad altcoins. I call bad altcoins those at resistance, those that have high time frame bearish charts. Don't be surprised. The great separation is here. All right, you have to figure that out. All right, that's a big part of what I do with crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation. That's a huge part of why people order these single asset analyses on random altcoins, because they want to know, dude, am I in the right one? I want to make sure, based off of whatever you know, that this isn't going to drop like a rock and not recover for years, because that is quite literally, no exaggeration, the scenario you're facing. Some of these are going to take years to recover. All right. I don't think Bitcoin will necessarily. I feel like Bitcoin is going to recover relatively quickly after making its big drawdown, but others may not necessarily. Okay. Other altcoins may not recover until the next cycle. I'm not trying to be dramatic. It's just likely given certain charts. All right. So that's Bitcoin. Now let's look at altcoins. Very important, if not even more important, because most of us are invested in altcoins. Most of us have been waiting for this for 5 to 10 years. And the overall thesis, again, is the same. Nothing's changed. Those of you who keep messaging me, those of you who are freaking out, try to use this show and use my analysis as a way to do your own research, as a way to understand, right? Should I be panicking right now? Look at what I'm doing. Reproduce it. Go on the high time frame, take a beat, look at the structures that I'm discussing. And then whatever happens, is that structure invalidated? Is it still valid? Figure it out. That's the whole point. This whole thing is educational first and foremost. Do not rely on anyone. Even somebody you're paying for their services, do not rely 100% on anyone. Use them as a resource to learn more, to grow, to understand. And yeah, you're not going to get certain things you may not miss or may not catch, certain things you may not have the skills to read, but try to grow as analysts. Because if you're invested, it behooves you to also cultivate some understanding of the markets that you're investing in, right? I think that's part of the essence of crypto. Gone are the days where you're paying somebody at some random, Schwab or like some random, place, and they're just investing your money for you, and just because you pay them and they have a license, they all of a sudden know better than you or anybody else. No, crypto's a democratic thing, and everybody has access to TradingView, free account, right? It's on you. You have to try and figure it out. So I love doing this, and I'm sharing it because it apparently helps certain people. I'm not saying I'm always right, but use whatever I'm presenting and DYOR with it. In any case, when I'm looking at altcoins, I am seeing that we've very, very clearly maintained this falling wedge. We've maintained it. So the idea that this breaks down is very unlikely. It's more likely than not that it breaks up, just like we said. And the time that it breaks up has to be within the window that we've discussed. Given what we're seeing with Bitcoin, has to be in the next few days. It has to be in the next few days. It has to be before Bitcoin falls down. And Bitcoin's likely to fall down within the next few days based off of what we're seeing in the charts. So that means that these have to pump collectively in the next few days, and it's looking like they are. All right, so that's the beginning. Always high time frame first, then we start drilling down into the smaller time frame. Smaller time frame, here's what I'm seeing. Right now, like I said before, I think it's quite clear. Whatever you did from October 10th, the retracement concluded on November 20th. Ever since November 20th, you've been putting in what seems to me a clean and clear reversal pattern. Sorry. Yeah, it is a reversal pattern, but it's more a consolidation pattern. So you can't just up and go down to up, right? The idea is, and this is Wyckoff 101, anytime you change direction, in the chart from down to up or up to down in a legitimate, sustainable way, you have to put in a consolidation. This consolidation right now, since November 20th, is what we've been doing in altcoins. And right now, it looks like we've put in one pair, two pairs. Now I'm using Elliott AV basing theory. You need at least three pairs. Okay, I think right now we're not out of the woods yet, but we're putting in the third pair. So what am I trying to say in layman's terms? Is that altcoins are very close to being in pure impulse. You're going to see a move up in altcoins, but right after you see that move up, that's right now happening as I'm recording, you're also going to see a relatively strong move down. Don't expect this move up that you're seeing right now in altcoins to build on itself in a purely impulsive way, i.e., don't expect a retracement of only 62%. Expect a big move up, a relatively big move up, and a relatively big move down. I wouldn't say relatively big. Expect a move up, and then a move close to where we started, okay? Judging by this chart, here's what I'm seeing. Again, I'm counting one pair of AB bases, two pairs of AB bases. I need a pivot. I need a third pair. I think we're putting in that third pair. Reason I think that this is still corrective is because the base isn't pure. The base is flat. So I think it's a flat correction, right? A pure base, you'll see. Once we hit that, you just go. Once you go into impulse, you don't start off impulse shaky. And it's not, maybe we should go up. It doesn't take time. It's like, it's clean and clear and it's unmistakable. That has yet to happen. So I'm trying to say that altcoins are going to go up. They're going up right now, and you should expect them to continue to go up. And I'm going to show you exactly where and how and where they're likely going to come down based off of this others chart. Remember, others is the best approximation for what altcoins are doing right now in the cryptocurrency space. This indicator, it's a chart of all the altcoins in crypto minus the top 10 in market cap, and then normalized, adjusted, averaged out. This chart is what you should be looking at. Based off of this, we're not yet in pure impulse, i.e., whatever you see here, don't be surprised if it comes right back down here. Now, how do we know that with a high degree of probability? You're looking at this 70 plus day channel, right? We came all the way back down close to the bottom of the channel. Now you move up, and whatever you do, you're going to have to retest the midline of the channel. That's where you should expect pure moves to start. When you look at a channel, the midline is where you call it the heart line, the point of control. That's where you're in business. That's where all the correction is finished. So right now, as it stands, we're going past the midline. Do expect to continue past the midline and then retrace all the way back down to the midline. We're not out of the woods yet. Very important. Lots of people are going to see the green candles today, this weekend, in their watch lists. Some assets may go up, 20, 30, 100%, 200%. And they think, okay, that is the bull market started. That is alt season started. Not quite yet. Obviously, you can take profit at these levels, but also you have to wait for this retracement to the midline before you're really in business, okay? And so as of recording, I see altcoins in aggregate moving another 22% to the upside, okay? And why do I have that as my target? Breaking the top resistance of the channel, only because if this is indeed a flat correction, I know based off of basic Elliott Wave analysis, my minimum retracement is a 78.6% retracement. So I use my Fibonacci retracement tool to project a move that retraces to minimum 78.6%, and that's how I get my target up here at 242 billion. That's my target for altcoins, okay? And look what that does when it's all said and done. Look at what that looks like. Not only do you get your 2 degrees of AB basing and a pivot, right? Your 3 pairs of AB basing, right? But you also get your massive inverse head and shoulders bullish reversal pattern. Exactly what you see at every reversal. When you go back, you do your when you do your back testing and you look on the high time frames and you look at that big move, and you look at what it looked like, you invariably see these rounded bottoms at lows. You invariably see these inverse head and shoulders bullish reversal patterns, and that is what would be forming if we were to go up 22% in this others chart and then retrace all the way back down to the midline before breaking up and out in earnest. That's what I'm seeing on the others chart. Again, in some altcoins, this will look like a 20 to 30% moves. In other altcoins, it may look like a 100, 200% move. Every altcoin is going to be different. All right? But I'm not seeing pure impulse quite yet, but I am seeing a move up. Now, I will say this. I don't believe that this is the last move that we're going to get before Bitcoin starts dropping hard, okay? Because altcoins do have to get out of the way. So would not be surprised if we did get this and then altcoins did have an opportunity to keep going higher because they need to move out of the way significantly enough for Bitcoin to make its larger retracement, okay? That's what I'm seeing in the altcoin space. Now, last but not least, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. The thesis was what? The thesis was that Bitcoin dominance was eventually going to drop. Bitcoin dominance has been in a downtrend, and that downtrend would continue, and this is exactly what we're seeing. You can see this trend, counter, trend. I said this was a counter trend, and I don't know if I said this publicly on YouTube. I know I said it in my last members update on Buy Me a Coffee, but we would likely come to the 60% level in this move before finding resistance and heading back down. And that's exactly what you're seeing here, okay? The idea, and which I know I've discussed publicly on YouTube, is that you're trending down. So whatever you do in Bitcoin dominance going up, and whatever you've done in Bitcoin dominance going up ever since October 10th, it has been a counter trend. All right, it's very clear. October 10th, trend down, counter trend up. Again, trend down on this day. What day is this? November 3rd. Trend down, counter trend up in a 3-wave move. You see that? 1, 2, 3. These corrective patterns, always flavors of 3. Trend down continues, right? You should expect this to trend down, to continue to trend down. And why is that important? Remember what Bitcoin dominance means. Bitcoin dominance is basically the measure to which Bitcoin's dominating altcoins, Bitcoin's gaining against altcoins in market cap. If Bitcoin dominance is going down, that means altcoins are gaining against Bitcoin, generally speaking. All right, that's exactly what we see in an alt season, in a cryptocurrency bull market, where altcoins are going up, Bitcoin's going up, but altcoins are going up much more. All right, generally speaking. So do expect altcoins to continue to go up significantly against Bitcoin, not only on the high time frame, but also on the smaller time frames, given what we're seeing on the Bitcoin dominance chart. You see, we got a clean rejection up here at 60%, rounded top, and that is definitely, again, a sign where you have, a double top here, that you're trending down. So don't be surprised if it continues to go down and altcoins fly. So that is my analysis, guys. I hope this was helpful, useful. Like, share, and subscribe. If you got value, consider joining my crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation service, where you can trade directly with me, have complete access to me at all times through email, and for 2 hours on video once a month, and where we identify altcoins that are likely to pump, and you can choose 5 personally that I'll track and identify levels of support and resistance, high probability support and resistance, where you can, you know, buy and sell and load back up so you can snowball profits. That's crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation service. We also go over risk management, which is extremely important because in the bull market, it's kind of hard to fuck it up, to be honest. Like, the market's going crazy. All you got to do is be exposed and, number go up, you make more money, but people still fuck it up because they're, practicing bad risk management. They get hacked. They get locked out. They get flagged by an exchange. They're just doing crazy things, or they're overexposed on in one asset. Just all kinds of things that you should never do. And we just increase the probability using these risk management strategies. Increase the probability for you to walk away from this, once in a lifetime bull market, because it doesn't happen every year. It doesn't happen every 4 years. Once in a lifetime opportunity to make life-changing wealth. That's literally the mission. That's the plan for every single person in my group, no matter the account size. Given what the market is likely to do, there's no reason everybody shouldn't be walking away with life-changing money. That's exactly what we're doing. So that is important, and it goes into how you're not going to do this, like you're likely not going to do this, but by trading spot. Okay, in an episode or two, you'll see me shilling a couple of links for my exchange partners, new exchange partners. I'm going to be very clear. You're likely, I'm going to say very clear, you're likely not going to make life-changing wealth or make it trading leverage. But I know a lot of us trade leverage. So I'm going to present these things, but I'm going to be very clear how I would use it as a tool and why you should sign up if you're looking to use it as a tool. But it's not a complete strategy. It's not an exhaustive strategy for making it. If you want to make it and end up, with life-changing gains, taking advantage of this price action that's coming, it's not going to be in the casino, right? Here's the analogy. The exchanges that push you to use leverage, they're the casinos. You play with them, you're playing in the casino. Yeah, you can make life-changing wealth in the casino. You can get rich in the casino. But what are the odds? Investing in spot with good risk management and good strategies and trading, high probability levels of support and resistance is like investing in the casino rather than playing in the casino. You see what I mean? Your probability goes up. Who messes up a casino other than, a few bozos like the guy running the country right now? It's hard to mess up a casino. If you invest in the casino, typically you end up doing well. So that's the idea. All right. I can go more into this, and I probably will at a later date. So yeah, that's crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation service. The link to sign up is in the pinned comment below. Also, single asset analysis service if you do not want to make the investment for the crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation group, and you just want me to look at that one asset that you're balls deep into, and you're not sure if it's one of those things that's going to drop like a rock when Bitcoin goes down, or that's going to sufficiently move up in the time before that time, then, make an order for your altcoin, email me, and then within 24 hours, you'll have the pre-recorded analysis, high time frame, small time frame, whatever is relevant. And you can always follow up with some questions over email. Guys, that's it for me. Take care. Bye.
time, a prevalent time slot. I vocalize, too deep to localize, even when I'm right on the surface. You act surprised how I work this, but I can't lie. Many a good alibi. I'll catch you later.
Visions are vividly enhanced with emphasis and amethyst to develop morale advantages which help us manifest magnanimous. We body vitals like evangelists. So listen when you're dealing with people who be revealing premonitions with precision. At least that's what I'm aiming at for now. I speak the language of the world, meandering throughout the crowd. Used to feel safe to say anything, but now it's a risk. It's hard for me to let go when all I can do is reminisce. Gone like the wind, here's where I begin. Should I smile or should I